Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I am Allincrypto, and today we are going to be talking about a very special altcoin. In fact, in my comment section, it's probably the most requested altcoin in regards to what people ask me to cover on the channel and take a look at. Now, this altcoin is particularly interesting because it perhaps is the predecessor to Bitcoin. Almost a Bitcoin 2.0, but a practical Bitcoin in regards to being a peer-to-peer system. Bitcoin's current layer 1 is not practical in regards to being peer-to-peer because it is too costly and, of course, slow. This blockchain, the name of this blockchain is Aramaic for silver. And this blockchain was designed to be the silver to gold, the Kaspa to Bitcoin. We're going to be diving into Kaspa in this video. We're going to start things off with Kaspa's Vision, and then we're going to look at a little bit about how it works, the tokenomics, and the founder, who is a rather impressive one, and then we'll move on to some price analysis. Guys, strap yourselves in. I hope you appreciate me taking a look at this coin. It's not one that I currently own, but that may change. And I can honestly say, having looked into this blockchain, not only am I considering mining it, but I'm also considering purchasing it and perhaps adding it to my portfolio because I do believe there is a need for something to Bitcoin, a silver to gold. Without further ado, guys, let's start things off. And let's start things off by taking a look at Kaspa's Vision. The vision behind this project is to build a Nakamoto-like service that operates as fast as internet speed allows. We want to build a system that surpasses the limits of Satoshi's V1 protocol, aka the Nakamoto consensus, yet adheres to the same principles embedded in Bitcoin's, contrary to Satoshi's vision. Bitcoin did not become a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Instead, it is solidifying as the ultimate store of value, or e-gold. And that's pretty much it from the Bitcoin side. This is not a mild achievement by any measure. It's one of the most important financial revolutions in human history. I do happen to agree. I think Bitcoin is Pandora's box and exceptionally special. It's almost like divine intervention. Yet it leaves room for a lot of improvement of layer 1 and or for choosing different trade-offs for layer 1. For Kaspa, we look to silver, which presents a different trade-off versus gold. In the original Aramaic text, Kaspa, silver, was historically treated as less precious than gold, but more circulative, less valuable, yet more acceptable as a payment. With this prospect, we called this project Kaspa, which is the Aramaic word for silver and money. The consensus stack of Kaspa is designed to address what we believe to be the leading challenges for the second decade of crypto as the technology matures and its adoption and integration with other web applications gain momentum. We identify two primary vectors which require a deep revisit on the base consensus: the speed of the transaction inclusion in the ledger and the control over transaction ordering in the ledger. We postulate that instant time to inclusion, aka first confirmation in the ledger, is of primary importance to the user, I believe it is, and developer experience, and to integrations with other web applications, as well as fast probabilistic finality. Kaspa optimizes for minimizing the latency imposed by the consensus engine on the transaction flow and user experience. Additionally, we contend that the ability of perpetual nodes that control a small fraction of the hash rate to mine blocks very frequently in an asynchronous fashion is key to the mitigating serious front-running and EMV threats, referring to the ability of miners and of trading bots to manipulate transaction ordering and gain an unfair and occasionally undetected advantage over ordinary users. Sub-second block times enable pre-trade privacy and pre-trade stealth transactions to protect the users from such manipulation. It then goes on to list a whole load of other things, but the vision for Kaspa that I think is really important is they are trying to be the silver to gold. They are trying to be the actual, they've taken Satoshi's vision and they've said, okay, this isn't quite manageable with Bitcoin's layer one and the consensus and the kind of parameters that come with it. But let's adhere to the principles in terms of the philosophical ones and the ideology behind it. But let's try and upgrade the technology to fulfill Satoshi's vision. And Bitcoin, I think money is largely an ideology, and I think that's why Bitcoin has done so well. People are starting to believe in it. And if people believe in Kaspa, guys, this could be absolutely huge. We're going to dive into the price in just a second, but this is currently sat at a $600 million market cap. And you've got to remember, Bitcoin is in the hundreds of billions and actually reached $1 trillion. So Kaspa only needs to capture a fraction of that. And if it does succeed in being the silver to gold, if it exceeds to being, the silver to Bitcoin, then it could be absolutely colossal. I can see why people are very excited about this. I really can. Let's move on to a little bit about how Kaspa works and what Kaspa is. So Kaspa is the fastest and most scalable instant confirmation transaction layer ever built on a proof of work engine. Transactions sent to miners can be included immediately in the ledger, which is structured as a revolutionary block DAG. Kaspa is based on the Ghost DAG Phantom protocol, a scalable generalization of the Nakamoto consensus, Bitcoin's consensus. Its design is faithful to the principles Satoshi embedded into Bitcoin. Proof of work mining, UTXO formed isolated state, deflationary monetary policy, no pre-mine, and no centralized government. Kaspa is unique in its ability to support high block rates while maintaining the level of security offered by most secure proof of work environments. Kaspa's current mainnet operates with 1 block per second. After the ongoing Rust language rewrite, the core developer's goal is to increase the number of blocks per second substantially, attracting the development of smart contracts and DeFi. It then goes on to talk about the trilemma that was originally introduced to the blockchain space as a problem by Vitalik Buterin. And actually they talk about the consensus for, or the sort of base of Kaspa, which is the Ghost DAG and the Phantom protocol, both of which have been actually very highly touted by Vitalik Buterin. And you can see over here on the right, this is a kind of visual representation of how Kaspa works. Now, the main difference between, and I think I've actually got this in regards to when we look at the founder, a blockchain and a DAG is this. Blockchains are one chain. They can break into multiple chains and then they kind of solve themselves out, but it's really one chain, whereas DAGs look more like this. We're really seeing the rise of DAGs across the board. We've got someone coming on the show to talk to us about Hedera. I think DAGs are really a very interesting concept. Certainly as an investor like myself, we love crypto. We've been in blockchain now for 7 years and crypto and everything to do with it. We've been reporting on it and involved in it. But we are also investors, and I see huge opportunities in DAGs because there are areas where they are superior to your standard architectural blockchain. And this is the fundamental difference. You don't just have one chain, you've got multiple, and you can do lots of things with these, like have one of these kind of routes for these blocks that actually is there for data processing or for whatever it may be. They are exceptionally interesting. And in terms of scalability, they are well and truly up there. One of the most impressive things, now moving on to the founder before we get onto the tokenomics and some price analysis, is the founder. Jonathan Sompolinsky is exceptionally impressive. This guy essentially was the pioneer for the Ghost DAG, the Phantom, DAG Knight, and of course Kaspa. Very high regards in regards to this space. In a rapidly evolving landscape of blockchain technology, few figures have left a profound mark as Jonathan. As the visionary founder behind Kaspa, he has spearheaded the development of innovative protocols that have transformed the way we perceive decentralized systems. His contribution in BlockDAG tech, including the Spectra protocol, GhostDAG protocol, Phantom protocol, DAG Knight consensus, and the creation of Kaspa platform have collectively reshaped the potential of blockchain technology. Jonathan works on BlockDAG, which stands for Block Directed Acyclic Graph, is a significant contribution to the field of blockchain technology. The concept of BlockDAG is closely related to his work on the Spectre protocol, subsequent protocols like GhostDAG, Phantom, and DAG Knight. A BlockDAG is a data structure that diverges from the traditional linear blockchain structure. In a linear blockchain, each block is connected to the previous one, forming a chain of blocks. In contrast, a BlockDAG allows multiple blocks to be connected concurrently, creating a directed acyclic graph where blocks are linked in a non-linear fashion. The key innovation of a BlockDAG lies in the potential to address the scalability issues faced by traditional blockchains, particularly those using proof-of-work consensuses, mechanisms. In proof-of-work blockchains, miners compete to solve complex mathematical puzzles to add a new block to the chain. This process can lead to forks in the chain when multiple miners find solutions simultaneously. These forks need to be resolved. That's what I mean. Blockchains, they can kind of split off, if you will. So you've got this chain going along, block, 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 block. All of a sudden you'll pop and you'll have two. And then they'll kind of go like this. And then they'll come back, or you hope they come back. A DAG essentially is, it's almost like a blockchain with layer 2's built into it. That's on layer 3's built into it. That's a really good way to kind of think about it. You know, Jonathan has been in the space for a hell of a long time. This was work from 2013. He's very impressive as far as somebody that's involved in the blockchain space. I mean, he really is. Let's move on to a little bit about tokenomics. The tokenomics, and when he says that they kind of want to be the silver to gold, you can see that in regards to the max supply. It is, you know, significantly higher than Bitcoin's, meaning it's going to be significantly cheaper. But that's what they want. They don't perhaps want a particularly high valued item. They want a practical, tradable one like silver was instead of gold. So the tokenomics, the blockchain DAG architecture with rapid block rates allows more mining decentralization and enables effective solo mining, even at lower hash rates. Fair launched in November 2021 with no pre-mine, zero pre-sale, and no coin allocation. Kaspa is 100% decentralized, open sourced, and community managed. The max supply of Kaspa is 28.7 billion coins with a emission schedule that halves once per year via smooth monthly reductions by a factor of half. Very, very interesting. The current market cap they have at 705 million. So it may have gone up. We're having a bit of a pump in the cryptocurrency market. And the circulating supply is currently 20 billion. So there's not that much more to get mined. Very, very interesting. This is their kind of emission rate. This is a project that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. I really do think that if this gains traction, belief in it, it's going to do quite well, and actually is going to maybe one day become the silver and the predecessor to Bitcoin. In regards to its price, it has been having a phenomenal time. This blockchain today is up 2,600%, and at one point was up nearly 3,900%. So that's nearly a 40x, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to its price. And don't let that put you off, because it still only sits at a $600 million market cap. I could see this going significantly higher. This has been having almost a bull market when everything else has been in a bear market. And I think there's a reason behind that. You know, this is an exceptionally interesting project and one that I think we should all keep on our radars. Certainly I will be. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section in regards to what you thought. Do you think Kaspa's interesting? Do you want me to start covering Kaspa more regularly? And what do you think? I'd love to know your opinions. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. That was Kaspa. Stay tuned for more updates.